Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode, another video from 10 Minute Marvel. I am Petter, and we're getting double videos today. So, first one, obviously already out on the channel, but we're talking about your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man here in this video because I just finished up watching those first two episodes that dropped today, and wanted to give some non-spoiler thoughts on it. I may do additional videos here coming up in today, tomorrow, a little bit for what I thought about the show, questions that I have from it, things like that. But this first video, I just want to talk about what I thought about the show. First off, let's talk about kind of the big overarching feel that I got from this show. I feel like this is a Marvel show where they intentionally created it to have fun. The Peter Parker is a fun character. It is a fun, good version of Peter Parker. Very nerdy, awkward, and then they surround him with this really fun cast of characters too, with Nico Moreau, Pearl, who's Wave in terms of superhero powers, Lonnie Lincoln. We haven't interacted too much with Harry yet, but we meet him early on, and it's fun to see how they kind of mess around with and play with this really fun high school experience that's happening, with also then that traditional twist of Spider-Man. How does the character balance, school, internship, and being Spider-Man, Aunt May, all those things? How do all of those bounce together? And that's what I was hoping for from this show. And that's what the trailers looked like to me, is that it was just going to be something like just fun and a good time to watch. And 2 episodes in, it hasn't disappointed. Now, that said, I will pull back the expectations a little bit here. This is targeting a younger audience. This feels like something that kids, I mean, maybe not as young as like the 90s Spider-Man show, would be interested in, but it's certainly not gone the route of X-Men 97. X-Men 97, that delves into a lot of areas where it's like, no, this is no longer a show for kids. This is a show for people who watched X-Men 97 when that was coming out, or who watched X-Men 97 when they paid for their own Disney Plus subscription. This one is very much, like I said, it's not a young kids show, but it's one that's going to be fun for kids, but also still is fun for adults. So I think it's important to set that expectation level for the show, because, it would be easy to overstate it or to go into it, I think, thinking like, oh, we saw what X-Men 97 did. Is this going to do something similar? And the answer is not really. At least not yet. But, like I said, it's still fun. And that's what I want. Like, the X-Men versus Peter Parker, the X-Men can be more serious. Versus Peter Parker is always meant to be that character where there are serious moments, but he is a wisecracking character in the comics. He's always trying to make things more lighthearted. As for the content of the first 2 episodes, I feel like we haven't really launched into the main story, the main arc that we're going to be getting. There are elements of it that I expect to continue, that we're going to find out are kind of driving some of the plot, but overall, these are the get to know you episodes. You get to know again, I don't want to dive too deep into anything spoilery, but characters that you see in the trailer, like your Nico Moreau, your, Nico Minoru, your Pearl, your Lonnie Lincoln, you get to know those characters and see how they interact with Peter and like Peter's connection to those characters. And you get to see relationships and interactions going on with people like Norman Osborn or Aunt May, characters that we know are in the show. So, what do I expect going forward from here? I'm expecting it to keep that kind of fun element to it. Like Peter Parker, I love Peter Parker when Peter Parker is a fun character because, again, that's what he is in the comics. He is nerdy, he's awkward, he doesn't know how to interact with people super well. He's super smart, but to use kind of Dungeons and Dragons parlance, there's two stats. There's intelligence and there's wisdom. Intelligence is your book smarts. Peter's are super high there. Wisdom is kind of your street smarts. And if intelligence is here, wisdom's down here. And that's the fun of a Peter Parker for me. And so I really hope it continues with that. I want to see what it builds towards at this point. And I believe, I mean, there's elements of this that, I mean, it's all very different from the MCU as well. So tangentially feel similar, maybe. But it's really fun to see a world like nobody's questioning superheroes in it. We haven't, we've really stuck so close to Peter at this point that we're just having fun with that and fun with him being your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, something that, like in the MCU, we haven't seen a ton of yet to this point, and I'm hopeful for Spider-Man 4 we're going to see that. But this show is really giving you that street level, that Spider-Man is down there with the people, stopping petty crimes, stopping weird criminals who are superpowered or not. And I really enjoy that for the show. But I'm curious, let me know your thoughts on the show. Do you enjoy it? Do you have fun with this show? Do you want it to be more serious or epic feeling after 2 episodes? Because, I mean, I really do feel like these 2 episodes are the get to know you episodes. Get to know the cast of characters. And where episode 2 leaves off is kind of where the story really is going to begin. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, and head over to the community tab as well to vote on your grade for the first 2 episodes. We're going to do a combined score for that, but if you enjoy this content too, please check out the other videos that are coming out on the channel. Like I said, I think I'll probably be talking more about Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man tomorrow, maybe diving into some spoilers or some questions, some theories around it, and we'll go from there and see what the show is like coming out next week. But plenty of content here on the 10 Minute Marvel YouTube channel to check out, and you can check out my and my co-host Greg's thoughts on like what we hoped for Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man on our podcast 10 Minute Marvel. You can find the podcast here on YouTube. Click onto the channel, subscribe if you haven't already. We appreciate everybody who has subscribed and who is checking out the videos and podcast. And then click on the podcast tab, or you can search for 10 Minute Marvel wherever you get your friendly neighborhood podcast from. But with that, we'll see you next time.